Hello and good evening. That fucking shit rocks.
Yes.
Lonnie H is the man. Thank you, Lonnie, for that just killer fucking music, man. This dude, he's got skills, and I think more people should know it, but that's for him to decide. But thank you, sir. Thank you, Lonnie. I hope you get to listen to this. And man, I will listen to that, Lindsay, by myself while I'm just sitting here at the computer, and I'll just jam to it, dude. And it's like,
Hell
man,
yeah.
that's my pocket. Like, I liked my intro music before.
I know.
Dude, he just he took steroids, and because you can kind of hear like it's kind of the same beat or whatever, and he took steroids and he just right into the veins of that fucker and just made it sweet. Man, I get so pumped.
Very graphic.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I like it.
Well, so yeah, a little fatigue. Got some things going on. Not to bring it down, but great grandmother is not doing very well, and we're just visiting her today or whatever. And I think that's going to lead into the conversation we're kind of having. I guess you guys were having earlier.
Yeah.
Like, you're not supposed to, like, okay, I don't know if when you feel a certain way about wanting to consume alcohol or a substance, you're supposed to call your sponsor. You're supposed to do whatever. And, I don't have a sponsor because it didn't work out. The first one was okay. I know. Can you believe that? Somehow I'm staying sober without a sponsor, like somebody that has that label.
I'm sorry.
We're going to take a minute here and give Lindsay. Hi, Justin.
Hey, Justin.
So, yeah, I don't have that label to call because, quite frankly, the last one really did a screw job on it. So, you know what I mean? Like, when you go through like the AA program, for instance, you are told that your stinking thinking and your best thinking got you here, and you got all these things. So what we're supposed to do is call somebody else who is the exact same way as I am. But now, before everybody gets all mad at me, I know there are some good people out there that have been lucky enough to find somebody they call a sponsor that has done very well for them. I understand that. Point is, you don't have to do it to make it. So I'm sitting here, I just had dinner with Miley, and thanks, Justin, but I'm good on the sponsor, brother. I'll just take it. I'll take an ear to talk to once in a while. But we're sitting at dinner, and I was like, I would love to just go to a bar right now and order a pitcher and play some pool. I would just love to do that. And, it's because of that ease and comfort. I think AA does say that very well, that immediate ease and comfort. I could relax. When I left my grandma's hospital room, the anxiety was through the roof. I had a pounding headache. And, I didn't need to call them. I have my best friend in the vehicle with me, Miley, for one. And two, I can get on here and just talk to people and get it out. And three, I have the power to talk myself through this. I have the power to walk myself through, okay, if you get your drinks like you want to, then what? Evidence would suggest that it's going to be the same rabbit hole that I was down for years. So I can kind of walk myself through that. Now, is that going to work every single time? I don't know. I can't tell the future. Did it work in the beginning before, when I was relapsing more and more? No, it didn't. But I'm here now and it's working now. So that's what I know. So I don't feel bad that I wanted to drink. I don't feel like I need to go and revisit my entire drinking career. I don't feel like I need to go rehash all the shitty relationship decisions that I've made. I don't feel like I have to call a bunch of people and make a list and make amends. This is just a rough time where my mind tells me and my body's telling me that, you know what, you could relax a lot fucking quicker if you just had a drink. And you know what? That's what normal people do. Normal people that don't have a problem with alcohol, they'll go out and they'll have a drink or two and they will fucking relax. So don't tell me it doesn't work and it's fake. It's a real thing. It's just I can't stop, and I know that. And with that knowledge, which is in some realms saying that your knowledge is good enough is scary to people, you're going to give you another heart attack. It goes back to that my best thinking got me here.
What?
my thinking has got me here and kept me here, and I'm pretty fucking happy where I am.
I don't even get it. I don't even understand it anymore, what that means.
Well, I don't know either. But I used to pretend I did.
Because like getting sober is like getting somewhere. Like I feel like it's pretty good thinking. I don't know. Don't kill me.
Yeah, well, I mean, we are two people. Like I don't know the last AA meeting that you went to. And again, this is an AA bash. I'm just saying there's ways to do it otherwise. But that works really good too. I know Justin is a big fan of AA. I was a big fan, huge, and I still love it. I love the idea of a good group where young or new people can come in and they can hear, to quote AA, the experience, strength, and hope of people that have been doing it for a minute. Do I agree with the entire message? No. But it's a good place with a lot of good people, and I wouldn't have got here if it wasn't for the foundation that AA helped me build. It's not the entire foundation, but it definitely was part of the mortar.
What Justin say?
Oh, not anymore.
What?
I forgot. Well, I didn't forget.
Oh my God.
I didn't want to say it because it's not my place to say it. That's why I went with what was common knowledge. So, you see, but that's the thing. I won't say his comments. If you are watching on YouTube, you can see the comments right now. But he's saying things that we've talked about before. And this dude was, him and I would have discussions where he was really like, dude, I don't know why you're,
I know,
questioning what I was saying. And he had an experience, and it's unfortunate that he did, but a lot of people do. And when you put the danger of putting yourself into all one program or nothing is that the moment that program fails you, then shit really gets bad. That's why you have to plant your roots in a bunch of different soil. And that's when you're really going to stay strong, I think.
I like that a lot. The roots.
Yeah, that just came out. I don't know.
It's really good.
It must be the fatigue.
It's really good fatigue then. It's working out. Program is good, but the high horses. Yeah, I mean, and that's the ego, right? If you ask me, the ego, and it has no place there. And it's actually like, aren't we actively fighting against the ego? Like our ego? Like
so
what?
Let me ask you this. Is it ego? Because I've been told it's ego that's keeping me away from the rooms, is what I've been told.
Yeah.
Is it ego keeping me out of the rooms? Is it ego me telling you that I want to drink tonight because of what's going on with my grandma?
No.
That's not ego. Ego is saying that I wouldn't have these thoughts if I would just be in these certain situations, doing these certain things, reading these certain things, talking to a certain person. That's ego, in my opinion.
Right. Well, and that's not even true because many people do report to having thoughts, even doing their program of choice hardcore, right? Or I'm doing everything right, and I still blah 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 blah. I hear it all the time, and like that's whatever you choose to do. That's great. I don't care. I care about the people that do care. I don't like the people that try to bully other people. I mean, Scott doesn't either. That's what we really, fight against. But also, there shouldn't be like a restriction against not criticizing, but asking questions about a program or saying, hey, maybe I don't believe that little part. It's like, oh, what do you mean? You're going to kill somebody. You're going to kill somebody. It's like, no, I just want to assess for myself what works, take what works, do whatever with whatever, right?
Yeah, it's a saying that they have. I mean, take what you need and leave the rest. That's the thing they say. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. It doesn't say, the 12 steps and how it works is introduced as the suggestions, not the must dos. There's a lot of things in there that we change. But anyway, it's not a hate on it. Hey, sober dad, and yeah, Justin, there's a group here in Michigan called Peer 360. And they follow like the Red Road readings, more of a Native American approach. And it's a really good meeting. And I haven't come across one meeting one time, and I've been to a lot of those too. I have felt zero gatekeeping, zero, nose or thumbing their nose. Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Anyway,
Sounds good.
Little ego. There's been little to no ego.
Cool.
So it's good. It's like at the end of the day, if AA works for you, I am so happy for you. If it didn't work for you and you found something else, I'm so happy for you. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the message. That's it.
The sober dad over here, what works for him is he does one more push-up every single day, and he puts it out on video, and it's like he's over there getting ripped, and fat dad podcast sober heathen over here is like, God damn it.
Oh shit. Yeah. I hear you. I feel that. I'm trying my best over here. Open to all any way to sobriety to stop doing what kills you. Yeah. I mean, our common solution is whatever solution works for us.
Yeah.
Find what works for you and do that. And then share it with me, because I might want to do that instead, or I might want to supplement my recovery with something that you have with your ideas. Let's exchange ideas and tips for staying sober. I don't want to hear regurgitated like what you think you're supposed to say or what's supposed to work. And if it doesn't work for you, then you're the problem. I don't like that. So
right.
Let's share it with each other and actually care.
This isn't working, so it's you. You are the problem. It's just terrible to say, because yes, are some people not in it to win it? Sure, that's absolutely true that some people aren't in it to win it, but that might be because it's not grabbing. Look, the hardest thing that it was for me to jump in and dive in 100% to AA was the higher power thing, because you'll go to a meeting and you'll have people tell you, oh, it's not. It can be your understanding. It could be a doorknob, but when you read agnostics, or chapter to the agnostics, or we agnostics is the name of the chapter, it says, well, it's not God, it can be a God of an understanding, but it's God. That's how it's written. Like it's not God, it's how you understand him, but it's God. I swear, I just read it today. I went through it again today, and I took a blue highlighter this time, and I put blue highlighter means what the hell, because I didn't really, it's been a while since I read it, and I'm going to do a podcast on that. I don't believe, the whole heathen thing, right? I don't believe in a God, and I don't believe that I need one in order to be sober, and I'm proving that on a daily basis. I need the power from within to know, and that power could be love for myself, not hating myself, cutting myself some slack.
Yeah.
That can be power.
I like that. I like that. Well, me and Adam were talking today about how it isn't even, we don't have to believe in God, him, he, whatever. I don't have to believe in a higher power. I believe in love. That's my spiritual spiritual values. Like, who do I want to be? What do I strive to be? What qualities and characteristics do I want to have? Those are my spiritual values. And I don't care about the higher power thing, it just,
the thing that gives me the most power is hope.
Yeah.
And every day that I don't drink and I wake up with a clear mind, I can do things like this. Like I can do this we just decided to do this last second.
Yeah.
And I can do that. If I was drinking, I would be in bed right now, or I would be drunk. So just having a little bit of hope, and I get that from hearing other people's stories. That's why I want to be as authentic as possible. And you talked about that too. Like, It's a red flag to me when I start talking with somebody in recovery and it's just the one-liners. Well, one day at a time. Live and let live.
Stop.
It's
You
well,
know?
it's like, wait a minute. You know, is there original thought in here? Because to me, it's like you're saying this because this is what you're supposed to. How do you feel? Say it. I fucking hate this guy. Like
I know, right? Just be honest.
just yes, and that's how you get it out, man. Like
Yeah. I like that, what he said. What Sober Dad said.
yeah, I'll just place it up here for anybody watching. I think most people listen, but my higher power is my family. I also believe in God, but he ain't why I got sober, in my opinion. Well, yeah, I mean, I still believe that you have to get sober for yourself. Like, because, I do believe when I was told in AA and in treatment that, if I do it for my kids are going to grow up, they're going to get married, and then they're not going to be there. So then what am I going to do? So I believe that you got to have something else along with the family factor, because obviously families are a huge part of it. I lost my family and I'm getting them back now. But I had to find a way to want to do it for myself. And if that's, want to do it for a higher power, that's fine. Again, Sober Dad, I also believe in God. That's awesome. That is awesome. I wish I did. Fox Mulder, you're probably, Fox Mulder, the poster on the wall. I want to believe.
Oh.
From the X-Files. He just wanted to believe in aliens. I want to believe. I would love to be able to just be like, oh, yep, there is God. I believe in it, and that's going to help me get through the day. I think that would be helpful in some occasions. But I don't, and I'm doing fine. And as long as it's helping him, that's all that fucking matters to me. Yeah. I don't care if he believes in Dumbo. I don't care if he believes, in Roger Rabbit.
True.
Like, if he wants to get a big Roger Rabbit, somebody wants to get a big Roger Rabbit tattooed on their heart and like pray to Roger Rabbit every night, I support you.
Me too. 100%.
So what were we talking about? What were we supposed to be talking about?
I don't know. I think we're talking about what are we talking about, guys? Do you know?
Yeah, shit.
Come on, guys. Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, hey. See, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. I feel bad that I just said that. Now that he said that, I feel bad that I worded it the way I did, because he's right. Because you don't need to do it for yourself. You can do it from somebody else and then find yourself. He's fucking right, dude.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, hopefully the hope is that we can come in for whatever reason, whether it be a nudge from the judge. I hate how people are disrespectful to the people in the meetings getting their paper signed, but it's like whatever gets them in the program.
Oh my God, yeah.
Whatever it is, I don't care what kind of program it is.
You think they want to be there? You know what I mean? Like, if the court's telling them that they have to make 3 meetings a week, do you think they want to be there and whip out that paper at the end? No, leave them alone, dude.
I know it's embarrassing. Like, let's just do it.
Yeah, let me ask you this as with your profession, okay? I don't know how many people you see or have to talk to that are nudged from the judge. I know that where I work, the overwhelming majority of people are there because they're told to go there by the judge. And so I hear the opinions of, well, they don't want to be here anyway, so F it.
Yeah, I hate
that.
And
then, right. And then I for a minute was in the field like, it's kind of ridiculous that the courts force these people into treatment that don't even want to be there because they're taking beds from people that want to be there. But the counter to that is these people obviously have a problem too. So maybe they'll hear something and maybe they will be one of the people that end up wanting it.
Yeah.
So I think everybody should get help or be able to get help.
That's a really good way to put it. In my experience over the years, there have been quite a few that have been sentenced to complete a rehab program, and then they chose to come to ours because I never worked at one that is not voluntary, but they still had to adhere to conditions of, whether it's probation or a sentence. And it's not an indicator whether or not they want it if they are, because you know, whatever gets them to stop. And sometimes, you know, our head is all messed up. We're stuck in the midst of addiction and we need something to, you know, maybe we need something, someone like a moment to get our heads free.
Yeah.
And that might be that moment. But my opinion has changed over the years. In the beginning, I was that way, you know, when I was in the rooms and I'd be like, "Ugh, they don't even want to be here, blah, blah, just making judgments for no reason at all. You know, I was one of those people in and out of jail. So what have I got to say? You know,
Right.
I tried to get in a drug court and couldn't get in. Um, I had to have it signed, so it was one of those, and it wasn't me wanting to change. And if it wasn't me wanting to change, I would be blasted right now. Yeah, that's another thing. You don't just because someone is sentenced to go there. That's why I always say to my clients, they're like, "Yeah, but I'm sentenced to be here." Like they think that they're not doing good or doing the work, and I'm like, "You can go get fucked up if you want. You don't have to be here. No one. I'm not stopping you. You can go."
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing stopping them, even if they're ordered to go there. You know, we
Yeah.
drug test people all the time that come in with cocaine and they're ordered to be there. And no, they shouldn't. John, I wanted to ask you, or sorry, Sober Dad. No way I would have gone to AA by choice. I didn't have a choice. I'd like for you to elaborate on that, or maybe I could ask a question so it's a shorter answer. You were made to go, and now you choose to go, right? I can't comment on X for some reason through the video, so I'd like to hear that, because you know if that's the case, I'm sure that happens a lot. You know, like I continue to go to AA after I didn't have to, and I continue to go to therapy after I was ordered to do it. So just giving people a chance.
Yeah. I am able to see when I need care, when I need something. Wife mandated AA. Got you. True.
But you like it now, right? Like you continue to go on your own.
I gotta
Wife mandated AA. I love that. My
smile.
wife did that too, and I would go and I would park down the road and not go into the meeting. Yeah, I was going. I love it. You know, like there's nights that I sit here and I'm like, man, you know what? I should join an AA Zoom meeting just because, you know, sometimes they're fantastic, especially the speaker meetings.
Yeah. I do sometimes randomly, like especially if I'm feeling really down. I will jump on a smart recovery or an AA one, and sometimes they're pretty awful, but sometimes they're pretty good. You never know.
Yeah. So see, he was mandated to go, not by the courts, but still mandated nonetheless, and likes to go. So I think, yeah, just give it a shot. Really, I mean, I think AA is worth a shot. And if you go in and the people are just, you know, the typical gatekeeping, you know, you shouldn't share. You should get some more time before you share. Then just leave and go to another one.
Yeah.
But don't give up on it right away.
Or tell them to fuck off, really.
That's really what you should do. But I get if you don't.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like everything. People can ruin everything, but people can also make everything.
Yeah, true. I mean, the sense of community that I gained from going to meetings was so helpful because I had no friends that were sober. That's where I got my friends from when I got sober. So, the meetings, you know?
Yeah.
So I needed that.
Yep.
I did. What else? What else we got?
I know I had some pretty good reaction or interaction there for a minute in the chat.
What are you guys thinking about? I don't know. I really like your message, Scott, that when you talk about finding what works for you, and I'm really on board with that, and been trying to spread that message as much as possible, because I think that coming in, some people, I mean, they don't know what to do, right? We don't know how to get sober. Like, that's why we're coming into a treatment program or A or NA or whatever the frick, right? And so I want to let everyone know, I mean, over and over again, that you don't have to do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
It could definitely be your way, but it might not. And if it isn't, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Just let's find something else, because it isn't the only way. So don't believe if anybody tells you it's the only way, don't believe that.
So there is no possible way, none, that you can do, or let's say that we're talking about AA, let's stick with that for a minute. There's no possible way that two people can do the same AA program exactly the same way.
Right.
So to say that you have to do it, if you want what we had, then you're ready to take certain steps. You need to do what I did. You can't.
Right.
You can't. You're going to be at different. You're either going to be there's multiple reasons, but I'll give a few right here. First of all, there could be an age difference. There could be a gender difference. There could be a wage or income difference. There could be there could be other family scenarios, like, maybe you weren't raised by your biological parents. Like me, I was raised by my great grandmother. That's going to be different. The entire environment for each person is different. So you have to work the program differently each time. Now they give you guidelines to work by, but sometimes how you go about it, the one sponsor I had, the first one I had, I like him. He was very knowledgeable at the big book. And when he talked, I listened because he was interesting and passionate. But he worked through everybody. He was sponsoring like 20 some people at one time during COVID. And it was just the same thing for everybody. And I think that's why it didn't work for me. I think what he did was good, and it probably worked for some people, but it didn't work for everybody because it was just cookie cutter.
Yeah. I like what he said. It doesn't have to be. Yeah. I thought it was a lifelong thing too, because that's what I was told. And I was like, man.
Yeah. You're doing this forever. What a frightening thing to tell an addict.
I know.
I mean, outside of one-time supply of alcohol, yay, that's good. But to tell them that they got to go and talk about, their feelings with strangers every single day, and they got to talk about, it doesn't have to be. You're absolutely right. It can be if it works for you, and that's what you need. It absolutely can be.
One thing I want to say is that for years it was it was what I did for a couple of years. I may have needed that, especially in the beginning. I may have needed that and probably did, but it became, it got to a point to where it's like, I don't want to be in a room and just talk about like being drunk and everything. Like, I want to talk about the solution, and I understand that those meetings are supposed to be about the solution, but they're not all the time, right? Because they're people. And it just it just was putting me in a bad space, like hearing the toxic shit over and over again, and some of the drama and stuff with the people.
Yeah, in some meetings you can't talk about drinking. You can't talk about those things because they're afraid that it's going to trigger somebody. And it's like, okay, well, I totally get that. It could trigger somebody, but you got to talk about it somewhere.
Yeah.
So,
Faux show.
Yeah.
What are we? What's up?
Well, I I'm down to do a short one. Looks like it's going to be in the beginning. At least one meeting a day for the first 90 days. It was great to have. Yeah. 90 and 90 is often that thing that you hear.
Yeah.
But I see guys in treatment court right now that come in, and you have to go to 3 meetings a week. You have to go to 2 groups a week. You have to have an individual in there somewhere. You have to pay your fines on time. And then you have to get there and do drug tests, 3 to 5 times a week too. And so some of them will say, I don't.
Oh shit.
Some of them, that's right. Some of them will say, it's really like tuned me in and got me, to focus solely on just being sober, not recovering, but having to do all these things and not be able to use or drink. And they said, it's kind of helpful. But if you're not learning to deal with the things that caused you to drink or use like you did,
yeah,
You know what I mean? And forcing people to go to 3 meetings a day, man. Like I said, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, comfortable in your recovery. Once you're comfortable in your recovery, I have met so many people through this podcast and on social media now that drank heavy like I did and just said, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then you know what you hear from the gatekeepers after that. You weren't a real alcoholic.
Yeah, or you're gonna relapse.
Yep, you weren't an alcoholic. No. I know because I was there.
Man, that's what they told me.
Yeah.
So I'm repeating it again and again and again and again, and that makes it true.
Yeah, it does. But you know what's fancy is some of these guys that are on X, there's only one that had the testicular fortitude to come on the podcast and talk about it. And he was not the same person that he was when he was just a keyboard warrior. He was much more tame, and you can check that out. I won't say his name because I'm not going to conjure him. The evil spirit. But you'll know who it is if you're on X. You can find that interview. There was another guy on here. I won't use his handle, but there was no nonsense in it. And I've invited him. He was on my page talking about how I'm making all kinds of money and profiting off people, and I'm not making a dime doing this. And when I was challenging him to come on the podcast,
0
to talk about it, oh, crickets, and he left. So these people are all bark and no bite. So anybody that disagrees 100% with me, I would love to talk about it. I want to have a discussion. I want to learn because you know what? I know that I can be wrong and I might be misrepresenting things, or you might be hearing something that I'm saying and other people might be hearing it that way. And that's not how I mean it.
Yeah, true.
So podcast door is open to anybody that disagrees with me. Anybody that pops in here is like, dude, what the fuck is this guy saying? Shoot me an email, thesoberheathen@yahoo.com. We can talk about it.
True.
I got in 8 days, I'm going to have Thrive Recovery back on the podcast to talk Sinclair method and naltrexone. So it's going to be pretty. Yeah, Katie. Yep.
Cool. I still got to have her on mine, and we kept rescheduling. So.
Well, maybe we can do a duo.
All right.
Well, apparently Lindsay's going to sing us on our way out. Go ahead, let her fly.
What should I sing?
Corn.
Don't know it.
How old are you? You got to know who Corn is. Marilyn Manson.
I just turned 36.
Okay, yeah, you're pretty young.
I know Marilyn Manson. I know Corn, but I don't know their song.
Oh, stop.
All right, now you put me on the spot. I can't.
In the Dope Show.
I can't.
That's probably a bad one for a recovery podcast, isn't it? The Dope Show song. Yeah, it's probably bad. Well,
I can't do it, Captain.
Who gets paid? Well, it ain't me right now.
It ain't me, bro.
Although I'm hearing Rumble is a pretty good place to go, so we might have to expand the podcast to Rumble and see what we can get there. That one,
it's hard to get views on there.
I'm hearing it. I'm hearing the opposite.
You are?
And you're automatically monetized on that sucker. So all you got to do is get the views.
I got 2 videos up on there. No views.
Well, I suck. All right. Well, we made it almost to our standard 40. I appreciate everybody coming in and talking. Lindsay can do the emojis. I cannot.
Shit happens.
Yeah, I can't.
I love you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for partaking in this discussion as always. Justin, Sober Dad, you guys are always awesome. So, all right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.